Brendan, always great to have a chat with you. That's almost the first week of pre-season in the can. How have you been settling back into life as manager of Celtic?
Well, it feels like coming back to family, if I'm honest. I've been given a great welcome back. It's been great to see a lot of faces, obviously, that was here when I was here the last time. It feels really good.
You spoke of your delight to be working with John Kennedy again, but it's giving you the chance this week to work with Harry Kyogo and Gavin Strachan. How have you found that experience?
Yeah, it's always good. Obviously, just coming in here with Glenn, who's worked with me virtually at all my clubs. I obviously knew John, and John's an outstanding coach and fantastic person, and he really complements my teaching of the game. So I knew John really, really well, and I know I can trust him with everything. Our views of the game is very much the same. It's been great to come back and work with him. Woodsy, again, I know, outstanding goalkeeping coach, and Gavin and Harry, who I didn't know so well. But both those guys really passionate about culture and really passionate about developing players, and it's a really strong coaching team.
It's a very changed group from the one you left in 2019. Some are yet to come back, of course. Yeah. But what was it like to meet the players, and especially those younger players, getting the chance to train with the first team this week?
Yeah, it's normally, now in the modern game, there's normally very rarely do you get all your players back at the one time. So that always gives you a chance to see the young players. And I've got to say, I've been really, really impressed with both. The established guys in the first team squad have been excellent, attitudes outstanding, and they've come back in a really, really good condition. So they're back already fit. So that gives us then the chance to really build on that. And the young players, of course, a lot of them I haven't known, and they've been pleasantly surprising. Really, been really, really good. Because sometimes a young player can come in and he can sometimes suffer with the intensity of the training with the first team, but they've all coped really, really well. So that's been pleasing.
You said the players can give you that base, that foundation, but how important is that first week of pre-season, Brendan?
Yeah, listen, pre-season as a whole, but certainly when it starts, you need, especially how we want to play. Why we want to play attacking, aggressive football. In order to do that, you obviously need to be technically very good, but you need to be then really fit. So building up that base over the course of this pre-season is very important. And the point I made to the players is it starts on day one. When you're looking to reclaim the winning mentality, you have to come back from the very first day and give everything. And that's what the players have done so far.
The players who were on international duty have came back to Lennoxtown this week with a view of getting back into it next week. Have you had the chance to catch up with any of them at all? Yeah,
I spoke to them all this morning, so great to see them back. Obviously Callum, I know from my previous time here, and so happy he's here and captain and thriving in the role. So he's now standing captain for me to have coming back. Obviously Mikey I knew, but the rest of the guys, it was great to meet them for the first time.
One of those players that you've just spoken about is Callum McGregor. How excited are you to get to work with him on a much closer basis as manager and captain?
Yeah. Well, we had a really strong relationship the last time I was here. I'd seen him grow, and I'd seen his personality grow on the field. And he was obviously he was very much beside Scott Brown in my first time here. But just to see him continually grow and evolve, and now being the great ambassador he is for the club as well as player, I'm really proud to see that development. So really looking forward to working with Cal. He's a brilliant player. He communicates so well for the club, for his teammates, and I have to say he was one of the big reasons for coming back, because when I had the lunch with him and we spoke about Celtic, I could see the determination in his eyes to keep achieving, and that made me really think about going back to help him and support the team, because that's why we all exist. We all exist here at Celtic to help the players achieve, and when they achieve, then the supporters are happy.
Are you enthusiastic about the chance to work along the entire squad during the warm weather training camp, of course ahead of the trip to Japan?
Yeah. I think the next block of 2 weeks will be a punishing schedule with the heat, but we need to get our work in, and that's what pre-season's for.
You've discussed the signing of Odin Thiago home already, but you've added a bit of quality in Marco Tilio. Can you give the Celtic fans, Brendan, an idea of the type of player we're likely to see when he joins up with the team?
Yeah, well, he's slight in stature, Marco, but he's very quick and he's very dynamic. I think the recruitment team had a few signings where they were well down the route, and obviously when I had a look at them, and I was really impressed by what I've seen. So Marco will come in, and I think he'll prove to be a really good addition to the squad. He looks fast, dynamic, can play in a couple of positions, and he scores goals. So a young player, hopefully with a very bright future, and I look forward to seeing him.
Another big news for the club this week was Kyogo signing a new deal. He's been sensational, 54 goals in 83 appearances. How crucial was it for the club to get his future secured? And I imagine, are you very eager to start working with him?
Yeah. I think him and Daizen they've been outstanding players for the club, and like you say, with Kyogo signing, I've always normally had a striker at the top end of the field who's got pace and who's dynamic, and for me he's absolutely perfect. You know, his work rate, his intensity, how he presses a game, but then his movement is that of a very top striker. So yeah, I've spoken to him on video and stuff, and you could just get a sense of his character and his mentality.
I've just touched on Daizen Maeda as well there. The fans love Daizen's work rate and desire. Is that some of the qualities that made you and the club want to tie him down for the foreseeable future? Yeah,
you can't underestimate that. He's a player that he's different to some of the others. Some of the other players' strengths are dribbling and taking people on. But what he gives the team, he can play in a number of positions. He sets the tone for the pressing. You know, whether he's playing on the left side or sometimes he plays through the middle, where he's played for Japan. So, but wherever he plays, he presses the game. He works tirelessly, and yeah, if we can help him add more goals to his game, then you'll see him constantly improve, hopefully.
Just finally, Brendan, James Forrest turned 32 this week. He's been an unbelievable servant to the club and will be rewarded with a testimonial against Athletic Club next month. How important is that he is that walking embodiment of that pathway from academy boy to Celtic first team star that gives any young Celt the inspiration they need?
Yeah, I'm so happy. Like you said, it's his birthday today, so he's been an absolutely brilliant ambassador and player for the club. I think that sometimes when you come through the system, you maybe quite don't get the accolades of some others, but to play the number of games he has for Celtic, to win the trophies that he's won, and still be as humble as he is, it's a great testament to James and the type of person he is. He was absolutely brilliant for me my first time here, very important member of the squad, and he will be that again this time. So I really hope for his testimonial game we get as many people there as we can, because you won't see it too many times in the modern game, someone being at the club for so long, and I think he's worthy of getting that stadium full, and hopefully we can do that, and that will be a great thing from every Celtic supporter and fan to him, and I think he'll, like as I said, he'll have a really good impact for us this season as well, and going forward.